Hey, y'all, watch this.
Again, except this is going to be a first.
Yeah, so hey, Todd Barton here from the Barton Group, and we normally pre-record these and then, you know, do some doctoring and editing and put them up so we can try to get them right. But we decided we're just going to go live now, and it is what it is.
What do we have to lose?
Yeah, what do we have to lose? So hey, we kind of lost where we were shooting our videos before, and so we're shooting from my formal living room today at my house, and we are in the process of building a new studio, so as soon as that's finished, we'll start shooting from there. So with me tonight, I have Wally Hawkins.
Hello.
Many of you know Wally pretty well, probably better than they know me.
Yeah, possibly me and my reputation for Pahrump.
Yeah, Pahrump, Nevada. Yeah, Pahrump, Nevada. It's not a bad reputation, though. I mean,
All depends.
There's a lot of really good things going on out
No,
there.
I think there's some great stuff in Pahrump, absolutely.
Yeah, so, but tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about Vegas.
Yes.
Like what's going on in Vegas and some of the happenings, and you've been around a few things recently that I think are worth talking about. And
Las Vegas at this point, well, we've both been here forever. We're both locals. And it's just amazing at where we're at this point in time.
yeah, so I'm born and raised here. I know you moved here several years ago, but still when you were quite young.
We moved here in '74, so I feel I can call myself a local.
Yeah, I was here a few years before that when I was born, but we've seen it kind of grow, right? We've seen it
Well,
grow from
let's talk about it. When I moved here in 1974 with my mom and dad and my sister, there was a total of, the population was 200,000.
200,000, and we're very, very close to 3 million now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so things have changed. Not only the city itself, but like the strip has changed. There's lots of stuff that has changed, and I think one of the biggest, I don't know, talking points for Vegas right now is F1. Like F1's coming in November, right?
November 18th.
November 18th. I'm glad you knew that date. So when I was a kid in the probably late 70s,
Early 80s.
Early 80s.
I know what you're talking about. Caesars?
Yeah, the Caesars had the Caesars Grand Prix, which essentially is the same thing. They
Right.
shut stuff down, shut the strip down, and made cars
I'll
go
tell you
fast.
what, when that happened, I'll never forget this. I came out of my house, and we were living way on the west side of town, and I'm like, what is that noise? And you could hear the cars all the way across the valley.
Yeah, well, way on the west side back then, that was about 4 miles away, right? It wasn't horribly far, but yeah, I mean, I remember I happened to be in the automotive business at the time, and so we were pretty interested and got to be pretty close to it, so it was pretty cool. But anyway, it's coming now. It's a much bigger event, and what are you hearing from like the locals? What do the locals think?
A lot of the locals are not real happy with the amount of construction on the roadways. That's what I'm hearing mostly. Aside from that, everybody's, actually at this point in time, people are more excited about the Sphere.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think the Sphere is a lot more than what most of the people thought it would be. Like, it was cool, and it was, watching it being built for me was very interesting. You know, anytime you watch something that's round like that. And yes, people are definitely more interested in that, or they're happier with that. I think that's the what it is.
They're finding it super interesting. Right now, the race is just the race. You could see, like you were just saying, you could see the progression of the Sphere, and then everybody talking about it, and you two coming. It was a big, exciting thing.
I think it's still exciting. So one of the challenges I think with F1 is construction. I mean, they're shutting roads down to repave and do different things. And, you know, honestly, in Vegas, though, we're pretty used to that.
That is true.
People will say that the city bird is the cone, right? Because there's always road construction going on in Vegas. So I think we're kind of used to that. But one of the things that really caught me was out in front of Bellagio, there were some pine trees that have been growing there for, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years? I don't know how long it's been since Bellagio opened. I do remember when the Bellagio opened, though, the challenge there was they had to make $1 million a day to stay open.
Well, when the Mirage, which was the very first mega resort, big hotel that Steve Wynn built and started this.
Right. That was the $1 million a day one. Bellagio was twice that probably.
And
anyway, they built this really nice place, put these trees out front because it's 118 degrees in Vegas, and now F1 came in and cut them off at the ground.
I can't believe that. I haven't seen it. Our friend, a mutual friend of ours, Steve, was telling me about it a couple times. He's seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not real happy about that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's happy about it because it definitely changed the landscape, changed what it looks like, and that's, by the way, that's right where like the main grandstands will be for
Right.
F1, and so they use that to, anyway, people aren't very happy about
So,
that.
so the track and the reasoning for this, the track is 6 miles long,
Right,
and 3 of those miles are the strip. And then they go off the strip and around a few things around the sphere and back onto the strip.
yeah. It'll be very exciting. But I think you're right. I think the excitement of F1 kind of comes and goes because it's very relatively short-lived. Although I think I've heard that F1's going to put their main stateside business center here, right? That place they're building is going to be used.
The paddock?
What is it called?
Paddock?
Paddock, yeah. They're going to use that year-round as their kind of the business center for the United States. So it'll be here for a while, but it is a.
Well, I mean, they have a deal with Las Vegas for the next 5 years.
So they'll come every 5 years, but
No,
even
they'll
then-
come every year for 5 years.
Right, every year for 5 years, but it'll be a short-lived week, 2-week, 10-day
Right.
event.
But they're hoping that it does well enough that they can just keep booking it every year. That's
Yeah.
the hope.
And I think it will do well. Everybody wants to come to Vegas, and that's cool. But the Sphere, you've actually been to the Sphere.
I have been to the Sphere, but not in the Sphere yet,
Not
unfortunately.
inside.
But I've been to the outside, and it's, even on the outside, when you're 5 feet away from it, you're looking at it going, wow.
It's huge.
It fits
huge.
20,000 people.
20,000, and that's about half of the Sphere, right? Because half of it's a screen, and then the other half is people.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
You were telling me about the speakers.
There is 167,000 speakers in the Sphere that you cannot see.
167,000 hidden speakers. Are there any? I'm sure there's none that you can't see, but I've seen a ton of video from the U2 concert.
Right.
I thought this was interesting. I was doing a review the other day, and you can take your phone in, and you can video with your phone as long as you turn the flash off. But other than that, no other recording device is allowed, which makes sense to me. But I thought it was interesting that they specified you got to turn your flash off. Like that must really be a problem when there's 20,000 people in there.
Well, you remember back in the day when we'd go to a concert, people would hold up their lighters.
Yeah, now they hold up their phones.
Yeah.
I hear you. And yeah, I just thought that was interesting. So Sphere is cool. Anybody that's in town probably should check that out. I looked up, there's still a few U2 tickets left, a few, not a lot. They were, I think the cheapest ones, there were a couple. If you guys can hear my dog walking down the stairs, sorry about that. He's pretty nervous sometimes. Anyway, few tickets left. Believe they were in the first part of December. They play here through December. So there's still several U2 concerts you can go to. And then there's a daily, I think it's 4 times a day. They actually have a movie inside that you can go watch, and those tickets are readily available just about any day. There were a few sold outs, but we got to go. We got to get down there and go.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to seeing the inside.
Yeah. So you take I don't know if people know this, but your kind of side job or your side love is, besides selling real estate, which everyone loves, don't get me wrong, is taking pictures. And you've taken a ton of pictures of the Sphere, and you put them on your Instagram page.
Yes.
Yeah, so what is your Instagram page? Because I don't go to Instagram.
Wally _Hawkins _photo.
Wally _Hawkins _photo. So if you want to see the outside, it changes all the time. Go there. I bet you probably have 50 or 60 pictures.
I have a lot of pictures of Las Vegas, different parts. I have a lot of pictures of the Sphere, and I have a lot of pictures of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go check it out. The picture you can see behind me, that's one of your pictures. I thought it was so good, we bought it and put it in
Thank
our
you.
house. Yeah, it's a great picture. We get a lot of compliments as people come in. So what else is going on in Vegas? Tell me about something real
Well,
estate.
real estate's a little tough at the moment, to be honest.
Okay. Everyone's
you know,
fighting interest rates.
We all got so used to the way the market, I think, and maybe I'm thinking more about me than others, but we got used to the way the market was, where houses would fly off the market in a couple days, or there'd be multiple offers, or you wouldn't have to worry about fixing a wall or fixing this and that because houses were going so easily. Now, they're sitting a lot longer. People are a lot more critical about what the house looks like. The market has changed.
Yeah. Lay down. Can they see my dog on the camera? No. All right. Lay down.
Well, you can see them in
Lay
the
down now.
two-shot.
All right. So let's talk about that. You've got 3 listings.
I have 3 listings.
Like, one of them is a very inexpensive $200,000 house out in Pahrump, right? You've got, which has been recently remodeled. You've got kind of a mid-range $500,000-ish 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, 2-story out near the VA hospital, which is way out in the north part of town by the VA hospital and by the Speedway out there. And we'll talk about that because there's some challenges with that listing. And then you took a listing today, a new listing, which is, what is it, about 3,600 square foot, single story on an
No,
acre.
it's around 2,000 square foot. It's on an acre, single story, big lot. And it's in a really cool part of town.
Well, it's an acre.
Right.
That's pretty big. I mean, by the way, you can't find an acre in the city limits. That just doesn't exist anymore. So that makes a property very unique, right? And that's an upper end $900,000 listing.
And getting more back onto in town, there's an acre. This thing is so in town, it's literally minutes from the Strip.
Oh yeah, minutes. Yeah, exactly. 4 or 5 minutes from the Strip, and it's right in the middle of the say the word.
Equestrian.
Equestrian part of town. Like there's a designated part of town where you can take your
Desiccated?
horses, you can ride your horses, and it's actually in Las Vegas. There's a park there.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. And
It's
this
kind of
property
a
backs
Western
up to that.
style cowboy park.
Yes, that park is nearby, and then there's a place where you can ride
Yeah.
right near there. So this actually backs up to that. So if you have horses, looking for a place to keep your horses and ride them, this is an ideal property for that. So let's go back to your listing that's out by the VA. 5-bedroom, 2-story home.
RV parking.
Yeah, it's been on the market a while.
Yeah, pushing 2 months now, I think.
Yeah, so pushing 2 months. You think that's a long time?
Well, when you went through the market we were just in, yeah, it feels like a long time.
Yeah. So traditionally, houses stay on the market for 3 to 4 months. Now, for 4 or 5 years there, 3 years or so, we were in a situation in Vegas where you put it on the market on Friday and it's under contract on Monday because you've had 45 showings over the weekend and people are bidding and outbidding things. And yeah, I mean, interest rate going up has driven buyer interest down, and so it has been sitting on the market for a while. And we also know that a property very, very close by went under contract even after ours was.
See, that's the strange thing about this market. It really is a strange market because the house on the same street, down the street, same model, except they didn't have RV parking, they had a pool. We have RV parking, no pool. They sold in about a week.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
so what do we determine the problem is? What do we think the problem is?
well, getting back to this market is not a forgiving market if the house needs a little work. And we have a few different colored bedrooms.
A few. So you said there were 5 bedrooms, if I remember correctly. And there's a few. Like how many different colors in the 5 bedrooms?
Well, 5.
Well, I think there's 7 different colors because a couple of those rooms are painted one color on top. And
Well,
one
there's
color on
that if you want to nitpick.
Want to nitpick it, yeah. So I think the challenge is this house has lots and lots of color inside of it. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but when someone can go to a house that's all the same color and then do to it what they want, they don't have to step backwards and paint a house that they don't like all the colors. And when I say all the colors, there's pinks and there's blues and there's greens and there's beiges, and I even think there's like a maroonish, purplish color in one of the
Now
rooms.
you're pushing it.
I don't think so. We'll look again. Anyway, I think that's a good point. The market's not very forgiving. If you want your house to sell quickly in Vegas right now, it's got to be in
It's got to be
tip-top
top
shape.
notch.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And that was
exactly.
the only difference between the house that sold down the street and ours is the house, I don't mean to be funny, was literally one color throughout.
Yeah, and as a consumer who's already spending $500,000 on a house, probably putting down $50,000 if I'm doing a 10% loan, right, or $100,000 if I have to do a 20% loan. I don't have a bunch of money to go in and do a bunch of painting. So yeah, I think in today's market it's a little bit less forgiving, and I think you do need to, party with the paint and get it painted.
Well-
So you've talked to your sellers, you've talked to them, they've decided that maybe that's a challenge.
So we're gonna bring a painter in there this weekend, and he's gonna paint all the room. He's gonna paint everything that needs to be painted.
All right. So Harry is coming in.
Yeah.
Harry's our painter. He's a drywall guy. And I think it's also important to point out, I mean, here you are as a real estate agent helping your clients do some of finding the right people to get that kind of work done.
Right, yeah. So Harry is a person that I've known for years. Actually, when I used to live in California, when I moved back here with my dad, Harry was a guy that was helping my dad out with things and other neighbors.
Yeah.
That's how I met him. And after my dad passed, I stayed friends with Harry, and now I'm throwing him some work.
And he does good work. Everything he's done for us has been top notch, so it's good. All right, what else is going on real estate wise? How about the big townhouse that sold up in Summerlin recently? Everyone's talking about.
We're talking about Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, just sold his house.
So, just in case people don't know, Mark Wahlberg moved here from California
Yep.
with all of his family.
Yeah.
They bought a $14 million house,
Yes.
and he
Four-
said he was
14.5.
moving here because he likes Las Vegas. He sees the opportunity here. He says he's going to build and open a movie studio.
Yeah.
And he also said he was buying some other type of business so that he could have employees working.
Yeah, so I think what he said was he was gonna build studios here and make this Hollywood 2.0 was his vision. And yeah, he moved here with his family and thought they bought it for 4.5 a year ago. Almost
14, right?
14, what'd I say? I'm sorry.
4.
Yeah, 14.5 million is what he paid for the property. Very nice part of town, very most west side of town up in
Red Rock.
past someone, yeah, near Red Rock. It's called the Summit. It's actually in the Summit neighborhood. And he sold it a year later. And so the big question is, did he move back to California?
I don't know, but I don't think so.
Yeah, so he did not move back to California. That's the question everybody keeps asking me. The market's so bad in Vegas that Wahlberg sold his house and moved back to California where the market's even worse. And I'm like, no, slow down. He did not sell. He did sell, and he moved to another house. It's actually, there's a couple interviews out there that he's done, one with Today. There was another one with a website that did. Anyway, he just said that the whole plan when they moved here was to build a house. And before they moved here, they bought 2.5 acres. I don't know where that's at exactly, but they are building. And they've decided to move out of the house they were in to move somewhere else, just into another house. And so the question is why? Like, that's a lot of moving in a year's time, but I think the $2.1 million profit he made in a year is probably,
Doesn't hurt.
yeah, it doesn't hurt, right? So bought it for 14.5, sold it for 16.6. And it was within a year, was about a year exactly, actually, within just a few days, I think. So anyway, everyone says how bad the market in Vegas is. It doesn't really seem to be that bad. I mean, the guy made $2 million in a year's time. I know that's not a big house, but homes are still appreciating. It's better than renting a property, spending 2 years, 3 years, 4 years in a property waiting for the interest rate to come down.
Well, prices have come down. The median price has dropped over the last year.
Well, our high in 2022 was 482. We're down about 447 right now. We got all the way down to about 425 at the end of last year, and so we have come back up this year. It's appreciated every month except for one. It's actually gone up in value. Appreciation's gone up in the median sales price. So, but my point is, you can rent and not pay the 8% interest rate, but you're paying 100% interest rate when you're renting. And if you owned a home for 2 or 3 years, even if it was at 8%, you're going to outpace the growth of your home, and the value is going to outpace the interest rate by a long ways.
All
So,
true.
Yeah, the conversation around I'm waiting for the interest rate to come down is a struggle for me.
Well, it's not going to come down for quite some time. And when it does come down, it's definitely not going back to where it was.
Oh, so let's talk about interest rates for just a minute. How long do you think it takes the interest rate to go down just 1%? So let's say for round numbers, we're at 8% today, and we're not quite that high, but let's say we're at 8. How long would it take, if it started to go down, how long would it take to get to 7%, in your opinion?
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, we don't really know, but realistically, if you watch how it climbed, it would probably take it 6 months to get down 1%. So to get back to 4%, you're talking about 2 to 3 years. And
Which is interesting because they're still talking about raising the interest rate.
well, it's going to go back up. It's going to go over 8, no question. So the people that were complaining at 6, if they're at 6 now and not at, they won't be at 8. I mean, they made a good move, right? But I'm questioning whether waiting is still a good idea. I don't think it is. I think it's time to actually get out there, buy something, let the appreciation outpace your interest rate, and then when the interest rate drops back down, just refi it. And then you have your appreciation and you get your lower interest rate like you're
True.
looking for. Yeah. So what else is going on? Anything else that is it happening in Vegas that we should know about?
Well, let's talk. Yes, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's hear it.
Guess where the Super Bowl is next year?
I believe it's here.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. So that's this football season. But
Yeah, that's this coming February.
next calendar year. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that going to look like?
It's going to be a week of crazy traffic.
Well, I think it's a week of stay-home traffic. If you ask me. But what do you think people are going to do? How do you think people are going to react to that?
I think people are going to go really crazy for that. I really do. I think people are going to be excited. I think the town's going to be full for the whole week. The roads are going to be full. It's going to be just craziness.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the town fill up half a week, 3 or 4 days before the events start, which are the Monday before the Super Bowl actually happens. And I think you'll see people stay the whole next week. I mean, I think it's going to be Vegas, right? I mean, that's what people come to Vegas is to party and have fun. And
Right.
I think it's going to be great. I think I'm a Raiders fan, not because they're in Vegas. I've been a Raiders fan my whole life. And what I've noticed about the Raiders coming to Vegas is that they still pull a huge crowd from all over the place. I mean, when they play at home, the town is completely full of people who fly in to attend football games. So I think it's kind of cool.
I agree. I think it's great. And then it's not stopping. So the talk now is the Tropicana Hotel
Coming down.
and guess what's going in? You know what's going in.
Yeah.
It's right up your alley.
Right up my alley. Yep, Major League Baseball team. That's the talk. Nothing's official, nothing is signed.
Nothing is official here until it happens, but
Right.
it always happens.
I won't believe anything until I actually see the building laying on the ground. In fact, when they implode that building, and I'm sure they'll implode it, we got to go and make sure we get some footage of that because I think that'll be cool. I mean, I don't know, I probably watched 10 buildings be imploded in Vegas in my life, and it's really kind of cool.
It is.
How they do that to be there on.
I remember the dunes coming down,
Yeah,
and then the landmark, which I worked at.
really. I
Also
actually
up
played
top.
golf at the dunes 1 week before they took it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool to see that one go. What else? I mean, lots of stuff's happening, right?
Well,
Past the Super Bowl.
this is really just talk, but it'll happen. Basketball.
I think that's way past talk. I think they have the summer league here every year. It's a good fit for Vegas, and
The girls are killing it.
yeah, the Aces. Did they? I don't even know. Did they win the championship? Like,
Well, they have a game this weekend.
they do,
Sunday, right? Yeah, they have a game Sunday.
and that's probably for the finals. I
Yeah.
have not been following that very close, but they're killing it. They're getting people out to the games, and so yeah, an NBA team I think would do really well here. So major league sports in general, right? Everything: baseball, basketball,
Fights,
football,
UFC, boxing, everything is
yeah,
here.
hockey's on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for next Tuesday. We're going to go watch the Knights raise the Stanley Cup at the first home game of the season, which is the 10th.
It's hard to believe it's back up and running already.
I've actually been to one game already. I've been
Really?
to a preseason game. Yeah,
Well, preseason, yeah.
preseason game, and then yeah, so the 10th next Tuesday.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Anything else we should talk about? You good?
Not at the moment.
All right. So we're going to do this every Thursday night. Go live with different things that are happening in Vegas. Try to talk about some of the stuff people don't really know about, and then talk about some of the stuff that's very popular.
Thursday Night Live.
Thursday, is that what it is? Thursday Night Live? All right. And we'll have to think of a cool name,
Yeah.
you know, like things that happen in Vegas.
Or they can think of a cool name and send it to us.
Yeah, you could comment below, give us what you think we should call this every Thursday. And then for all of you out there that follow us that are in Pahrump or following Pahrump or looking at Pahrump, we intend to do this on Tuesday nights for specifically the city of Pahrump.
And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to know about Vegas or Pahrump, put it in the comments, please.
Yeah, and of course we're here to help you with your real estate goals and needs and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So cool. Hey, thanks for watching. Comment below. Let us know what we can do, and we'll turn this thing off.
So what happened with this?
Hold on.